Hey everybody, welcome to the daily 2025 ProcureTech Cup update show. We're well on our way to finding our ProcureTech Cup champions for the year. And so, you know the format. We've been here a couple times. So just quick agenda here. We're going to do a calendar update. I'll bring Sheena in, my trusted co-host on this journey to the ProcureTech Cup. We'll talk about quickly the results of the round of Elite 8 that happened last Thursday. And then we'll bring in our Final Four. So we've got representatives from all the companies on the call here today, and we'll do a little powwow so you can learn more about those brands that have made it all the way to the end of the tournament here. And then we'll quickly tee up the championship match tomorrow and get you on your way so that you can make sure that everybody's voting before we get to the end of this thing here. So let's bring in Sheena Smith. How's it going, Sheena?
Oh, going great. I actually caught the last game of the women's Final Four yesterday, so I did watch basketball. Love that Paige Beckers. Really pleased for her to get her win with UConn. So that was fun to see. Other than that, working out in the garden. It's actually kind of nice here. So nice weekend here in Chicago.
Yeah, it's starting to we're starting to come out from under the heavy weight.
you get the great wild north. So
yeah, that's right. Cool. Well, we don't want to keep our participants waiting here too long. So just a reminder, if you haven't already, get the 2025 ProcureTech Cup Almanac ebook. It's got information on all 64 tournament participants, solution category, where they're based out of, demo links if they provided one, and much more. So go to store.pureprocurement.ca, and it's the first thing in the store that you can grab. It's free. So make sure you grab your copy before the end of the tournament here. And just a quick calendar update. So for those of you that are following closely, on Friday, we ended up postponing the Final Four matchup. Why? Because my counting processes went astray. We had the largest amount of votes in any ProcureTech Cup round in ProcureTech Cup history. So that was very cool to see. But yeah, it means I need to rethink some stuff for next year with Sheena here, right? We need to maybe over-engineer this thing. So it was really cool to see. Final Four has been ongoing since this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and then tomorrow the championship round with our final two. And then quickly as well, results on the round of the Elite 8. So here's what happened. I'm not going to do the countdown today. No time for that. Beniering took it over Anvil. Very close matchup, right? So by 9 votes. So very close. Trust Your Supplier over Airchain. Crown over Axiom. Another very close matchup. And then Fair Market over Oro Labs, which also had a very close matchup, right? So you could see the numbers here and how they're a bit ridiculous. And this is over 24 hours, right? So as I mentioned, it was the craziest round in ProcureTech Cup history. Anything that surprised you here, Sheena?
I'm just thrilled for Trust Your Supplier's ongoing performance in bringing the votes. I mean, more than double over Airchain is very impressive. So let's very curious to see what's going to happen next in the Final Four. And great job to Fair Market too.
Yeah, I told them they would at the very least get the most consistent brand ribbon.
Yep.
This year.
Exactly. Absolutely, right. Which is important. That's great.
So they're the only ones to make it back to the Final Four 2 years running. So just a quick nod of the cap here to the 4 brands that are exiting the tournament. So Anvil Analytical. For me, they're new kid on the block, fairly 2022, but I've been impressed by how fast they've been able to develop a really interesting solution. So check the demo out via the ebook there. So everything that has a green button in the ebook, you can actually click through to a demo. Airchain and the team you mentioned, right, doing great things out of Bangalore, India, and yeah, they've got a pretty fresh sourcing solution using lots of artificial intelligence where it makes sense to get that process accelerated. So check them out. Axiom, which to me is alone in its category, so to speak, right? Where it's catalog management, but it's more private marketplace. Founded in 2020 as part of like DPW startup exercise there. So definitely check them out as well if you've got issues with catalog management, with marketplace spend, with administration of all that stuff. They're doing a great job. And then intake and orchestration, Oro, which is also making a lot of noise in the intake and orchestration space. So if you're looking at how you coordinate the various amounts of requests that come into procurement, how do you get them through to the end of their life cycle, Oro is definitely a solution to look at. All right. So that being said, today's matchup, the Final Four, Veneering, Trust Your Supplier, Crown, and Fair Market. And rather than have Sheena and I do some analysis, we thought we'd just bring them in and have them ask or answer a couple of questions for you live. So there's company overview. We're going to ask them just to discuss, who they are, where they're from, what they're all about. Unique value proposition. So what problems are they solving for procurement, and when should you get in touch with them what kind of problems you're trying to solve, or pain points or value you're trying to generate for your business. And then I'm always curious to ask about the secret sauce, and we'll see, what they're willing to share or not, but how they approach the ProcureTech Cup and what they got out of it. So that being said, let's bring in Mikita, Sai, Jules, and Natalia from our 4 final companies here. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So really happy we could make this happen on such short notice. The ProcureTech Cup's a pressure cooker type situation, so I'm always very honored when you're able to make time on such short notice to jump on the show here. So maybe Sai, we could start with you, right? At Trust Your Supplier. Maybe you could give us an idea of what you guys do, what problem you solve, and how you approach the ProcureTech Cup.
Yeah. First of all, wow, what an incredible honor actually to make this far in the tournament with the Trust Your Supplier team here. A huge thank you, Joel and Sheena, for organizing such a fun and engaging tournament. It's been a great experience to our team. We are very thankful to be part of it. At Trust Your Supplier, right, we are on a mission to transform supplier management, eliminating inefficiencies, reducing risk, and bringing trusted data together in one place. Because let's be honest, who doesn't want like fewer spreadsheets and more peace of mind, right? So our platform helps businesses unify supplier data and orchestrate risk and compliance management across financial, cybersecurity, ESG, quality teams, and more. So procurement teams can focus on strategy instead of firefighting.
Great. And so it's really around optimizing that process, getting all your sources of data in one place, and having that single source of truth for the master record, right?
Absolutely.
And I would imagine that pulls in internal data from your ERP systems, but also external data from different third-party sources.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, again, if you look at it, you're saying about secret sauce. I mean, we are basically a network and blockchain based technology. That's our secret sauce. I mean, if you call it right, creating the network effect is the most important thing that we are working relentlessly on that, right?
Very cool.
Again, I mean, I want to say that making it to the final 4 is a testament to the impact of our solution, the trust of our customers, and the incredible work of our team. We are really beyond grateful for the support from our customers, partners, and the entire procurement community, especially those who voted for TYS. Again, congratulations to Veneering, Fair Market, and Crown for making it to the final 4 along with us. I had also liked to commend all the 60 participants and fellow procurement startups for their innovative solutions and relentless dedication to transforming the industry.
Go ahead, Sai. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, their creativity and hard work inspire and humble us, all of us at TYS, to push the boundaries of what's possible. This is really an amazing experience for us. Joel, I mean, this is, looking for what next, actually.
Well, we've got Sheena and I are not yet in post-mortem mode, but I'm sure we'll cook up some interesting stuff.
I know. We probably push the boundaries too hard here, I guess.
Yeah, and you've stayed in the same type of scores, right? So to me, I always say this is kind of a measure of the engagement of your community, whether it's your employees, clients, partners, people around you. So definitely, hats off side to you and the Trust Your Supplier team. If we move over to Mikita and Crown, right? You're the smallest, newest company in the final 4 here. So different strategies, different viewpoint. But can you give us an overview on what you're up to and what problem you're solving for, and then how you approach the cup this year?
Sure, Red. Thank you very much for this. So as you mentioned, we are a very junior company. We are a bit older than 1 year. We just raised our pre-seed with VCs, and we have 6 customers who are quite happy with our service. Me, Mikita, I'm a Ukrainian, but I'm raised in France. I moved here like 25 years ago, and I spent 15 years in procurement. And I always wanted to create something in procurement, but I was not from the tech. And I decided to do something I know how to do, is to bring savings to procurement. And I created Crown. And the goal of Crown is basically to bring e-auctions to procurement again. I mean, you knew all the auctions 20 years ago. We are making like some new e-auctions, much more ethic, much more let's say supplier oriented. So I'm happy with what Sai is saying, that suppliers are really the core of procurement, and we are really focusing suppliers in this area. And basically, a lot of studies say that e-auctions are more effective than traditional ways of negotiating, but they are extremely difficult to put in place. And we kind of solve all this by bringing, I think, a good technology in the auction field, but also a high level of service. Like, we do everything for our clients. We call it e-auction as a service. And yes, that's what we try to do. And we are young, but we are strong, and we like this competition. It's quite fun. I think I asked to everyone to vote, so that's what we do. I mean,
Grandma's been voting, right?
We understood that we can win 1 million, right, Joel, in the end. So that's why we asked.
You probably won't. You might.
1 million what?
Yeah, that's right.
Never.
That's great, Nikita. I don't know if I'm behind the new acronym e-auction as a service. That seems very long, but I mean, it's okay. But yeah, I gotta give it to you, right? Like the Crown, like I wouldn't, when I initially made the bracket with the seating, I didn't figure that you would make it this far, given the fact that you're a year-old startup and all that. But we got to give it to you. You got hustle, right? So that's great. Congratulations on that.
No one is expecting it, but I mean, it's quite amazing that we went so far. I thought we'll be eliminated like the first matchup, but yeah, we have a community. We are lucky to have a lot of people supporting us, and we work hard to also get these votes with our friends, family. Yeah. You mentioned my grandmother; she voted as well. But we also have like a strong community, I think, professionally, because a lot of people in procurement, they think that the auctions are something that should come back, and that the actual providers don't really target this area. And so we are trying to tackle this, and yeah, that's how we get it, I guess.
And just to satisfy my curiosity here, and then we'll give Jules the mic. I don't need to integrate with any systems to use Crown, right? Like I could use it.
You don't. You can call us, and we can start doing the auctions next week. So we can integrate with every type of system. That's why we made a lot of friends during this competition, not only competitors, but I hope also some friends. And yeah, maybe we'll probably work together with some others, because we're not really competing against them. And that's what we try to bring, is a kind of new wave of freshness on the auctions. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Be careful what you wish for, because you might get the hug of death. Great. Thanks, Nikita, for being here and giving us an overview of what Crown is doing. Jules, at Fair Market, how great participation again this year. Great result, coming to the Final Four. Can you give us an overview of Fair Market, of what you guys do, what you solve for, and yeah, anything you're willing to share in terms of your approach to the ProcureTech Cup?
I'd be honored. Thank you, Joel. And I just got to say too, when we were chatting backstage earlier, it's so cool to be surrounded by like-minded companies who are like, we might all be solving for some unique challenges, a lot that overlap, but just having companies that are driven, so customer driven, so employee focused, like it's just been really cool to get to know some of these other companies. So Joel and Gina, thank you guys for bringing us together, because this is awesome. At Fair Market, we are the autonomous sourcing platform for all spend. And I think over the course of our last 10 plus year journey on the startup train, it's been really, really cool as we think about, some of the, Joel, you had mentioned earlier, like the consistency of Fair Market. Yes, it was totally true in the way that we approach this competition, but it's also really true for how we approach the things that we build within our business. So what started 10 plus years ago as a tail spend management platform, I think what we did is we stayed hyper-focused on that area for so long so that we could drive an incredible user experience for a really, really untapped part of this market. And what we did was we leveraged that experience that we gained, and we said, well, Tailspin's great. We've kind of unlocked this problem when we're solving for it and we're delighting these customers. Why don't we try to go after this for all spend and take what we built, take what we learned? We built this really great foundation, and then enter the era of AI, Gen AI, agentic technology. And it's really just been able to help us accelerate so that we can meet all users, regardless of what type of spend they're sourcing, right where they are, create a really, really good process that was so in need to be shaken up. A lot of these like antiquated, as I had mentioned, like Excel spreadsheets and really, really long standing, just really painful processes for end users that we've been able to rip out and solve for and create a great user experience. So very similar to the rest of these guys, like it's all about creating an awesome customer experience for us at Fair Market. I think some of the secret sauce to the way that we approach the competition this year, I got to tell you guys, losing is one heck of a motivator. So going into the competition this year, I think, we really did in typical Fair Market fashion, which many of you and those listening are quite used to our presence. We get loud on LinkedIn, and we did that last year. We left it all in the court. And then I think for this year, it was about how can we go bigger? How can we go better? And really the approach has been in leveraging our incredible partners, our incredible customers. I think Makita just mentioned his grandmother voting. Like, we're out here educating our parents, our colleagues, friends of family. We're hitting everybody. And it's been really cool. I was talking to Kevin about this morning. It's been really cool to just kind of bring a whole bunch of people together that sort of have an idea of what we do, but don't really understand. And then you layer in the competitive nature of the fun in this. And I think that's kind of been a little bit of our secret sauce this year. So we'll see what happens. We're in very good company, but we're definitely determined this year. Big time. Losing, having that chip on our shoulder is something we're quite used to. So I think that's what you've seen from us this year.
That's very cool. It's very cool. And I know last year you brought up the Fair Market shoes, right? Like basketball.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Like I think I saw Kevin bring out a Fair Market jersey this year. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like if people are going to be getting one of those.
We're all about the swag at Fair Market for sure. We got our Nikes. We're getting the jerseys. We're all about that the swag and bringing an energy to LinkedIn that I think has been waiting for some more energy.
Absolutely. And I love that you're using this event as an opportunity to finally have that conversation with your family about what you actually do.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
I asked my 5-year-old what I do, and he said, I talk at the computer all day. And I was like, that's fair. That's literally what I do. So.
Yeah. True. And then Natalia, I'll give you the last word here. But just before we do that, just want to call out a couple of people in the chat. So April Harrison saying, love the update shows. Thank you for being here. Hamid, hello, everyone. Excited to see the winner of the final round. So I know Hamid also tunes in quite regularly. So just want to nod to the cap there. Sean Tooney calling from Boston. So he's probably right next door. Jules, right? And so there's a lot of folks in the chat here, which is great. So just to round things off on our top 4 here, Natalia, calling from Europe. I think you and Makita it's Friday evening. So I want to thank you, first of all, for taking the time out of your schedule to come on the show at such a late hour, and not a great hour for you guys. So appreciate that. But would you tell us a bit more about Veneering, but what you solve for and how you approach the cup?
Thanks, Joel. It's not Friday, by the way. It's Monday.
That's true. That's true too. You can see that I need a break soon.
I'm actually doing this call from the car. That's why I put the background. I had already 200 kilometers towards my customer, and I still have 200 kilometers where actually I'm staying overnight and meeting a big customer tomorrow. But yes, it was a great ride. Veneering is a German company, and we decided to join ProcureTech Cup.
Oh no!
Oh
Am I
no!
the only one who's losing Natalia?
We lost her. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Hello?
We'll see if she's able to come back in here.
Can you hear me?
There she is.
Now we can hear you. Yep.
Okay, sorry. I think it's just a refresh on the browser. So let me start again. So Veneering is a German company. We are founded by ex-SAP solution architects. I myself spent 18 years at SAP. And we exist since 2007, but we were containing ourselves more to Germany, and now we are expanding towards other regions, and that's why we decided to join the ProcureTech Cup. So basically, what Veneering is actually about, I like this analogy. I travel quite a bit, and when you come to the airport today, you basically have 3 machines in front of you. You get your boarding pass, 30 seconds. You get your luggage tag, 20 seconds. You give your luggage in the machine, you are done. And I actually really, really like it. So basically what we are trying to do in Veneering is to do the same in operational procurement. Many customers, many companies have lots of users that are entitled to order goods or services. And many of them are to find in which shopping channel, in which buying channel, how they should do it, this and that. Of course, there are a lot of solutions that are targeted towards this, but many of them are not really used or not really leveraged. So what we are trying to do is to give end users, simple people, a very, very good, very smooth end user experience, no matter what they are looking for, and make procurement essentially no touch, so that procurement colleagues can focus on talking to suppliers, finding new suppliers, but not answering endless operational questions, what, where, when. So that's what we are up to. And actually, a couple of more interesting things about Veneering. First of all, we are self-financed. We are profitable from day one. So no rounds, no hassle with anything like this. We are basically relying on our product to deliver value that brings us basically revenue for further developments, and we are investing a lot in enhancements. We are doing all our solutions in co-innovation with customers like BASF, like Deutsche Telekom, like Wacker. So basically we are delivering only what is valuable. We are driven and owned by one person, a very solid German solution architect who is very close to customers. And essentially, we are leveraging AI without screaming about it since 2018. For us, it's just a technology, but not something fancy. So how did we do in ProcureTech Cup? Same as Mikita, basically involved all our employees, involved all our customers, involved our partners, and that's how, of course, we are far away from trust your supplier, but I mean, we hope to get further on. And the results are already there. I'm getting inquiries. I'm getting some interesting conversations with analysts and with partners, because essentially I see that operational procurement and cost savings in automation, in digitalization of end users is on top of everybody's agenda.
No, absolutely. And I love that comment around AI, right? Like I see that a lot in the market where AI is like it's a set of tools, right? Different types of tools, computer vision, machine learning, natural language processing, etc. And they've been around for a long time. So I think ChatGPT and that whole thing kind of put AI on the map, but it's been on there for a while, right? So there's definitely a lot of solutions already using it. And at the end of the day, it comes back to business outcomes, right? I couldn't agree with you more, Natalia. So that being said, I know we're already way over time for folks who are used to the 15-minute show, but I think it was way worth it. If you agree, let us know in the comments here. And I want to thank Mikita, Sai, Jules, Natalia, and as always, Sheena Smith for joining me on the show. And I want to encourage everybody to go vote. I'm actually looking at the vote totals now. It's pretty close. So I'll do an update on the post quite shortly here. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, for participating. Tomorrow we'll have the championship round, and then on Wednesday I might have one of you back on the show just to celebrate. Does that work?
Yes. Thank you.
Good job.
Right, thanks, everybody.
That's great. Good luck, friends.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Hello.